Thanks for coming. Welcome to Connect. I want to introduce you to our wonderful speaker today, Matthew Peters. He is an Academy Award-winning video director, marketing strategist, and media trainer. So he teaches professionals how to make their marketplace words, work where they become the expert in their field. And he's working with us here at Connect to do the same thing with our members. So I'd like to introduce Matthew Peters to you, and I'll be handing these off to you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here today. Today, what I want to do is we're going to cover those three things. How many of you seen that video that I had online? The shot with the selfie stick? Okay. That was one take. I literally had like 15 minutes to do the landing page and the video, so I did it really quick. But it was personal, and it connected with people because it was short and it was to the point, and it wasn't glossy. It didn't cost anything. So I wanted to teach people things that they can do on their own. And how many of you have an iPhone, or what smartphone do you use right now? LG. And some iPhones. Okay. So how many of you have shot a video, turned on the video camera on and shot something? So everybody has shot something with it. So you have this powerful tool with you all the time. It's in your pocket, but we are not creating videos all the time. And there's probably a disconnect between the technology, I know how to shoot it, maybe even upload it to YouTube or Facebook, and what do I say on it? How do I not waste my time? Maybe we've shot some videos, put it up on YouTube, and it gets 4 views after 6 months, and we're wondering what the heck went wrong. So YouTube right now has 300 hours of video uploaded every minute. And it's hard to stand out from that if you don't know who you're talking to and you get really specific about your message. So today we're really going to cover 3 things, and it's going to be general, but I want to pull some information out of each of you so you can use this and do something with it. For me to talk at you is not my intention today. My intention is for you to take this information and start using it. As a matter of fact, if you're a member here, next Tuesday, anything that you've shot prior to today, anything that you shoot between now and then, you're welcome to come back here. And on Tuesday, I'm going to give a review. We're just going to get in a group, anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes, and I'll give you some feedback on it and help you out and give you some support and encourage you. So that's what we want to do here at Connect, is really support everyone who is a part of this. So today we're going to talk about how to connect with your ideal client, and how to clarify your offer, and then to develop a call to action that's compelling to get people to do something with each video. So one of the things I find that people don't do enough of is have a call to action on their video. And it doesn't mean to buy something. The call to action is, I like that, now what do you want me to do next? And as the expert in your field, people are watching your video, they don't know what questions to ask, they don't know what else you have, so you need to tell them what to do. That's your responsibility, to tell them what to do. So when you're creating a video, make sure that you're connecting with the individual, you know the individual you want to talk to, you understand what your product or service is in their eyes, because a lot of times we can be a little bit blind, thinking that everybody knows what it is we do or the terms we use and so forth, and then you need to give them that next step. So what I did here is you all have a lot of notes, and I know sometimes we have distractions, sometimes that we don't have enough time to write things down if we move through it quickly. So I just want to give you everything so you have it. And a lot of them you'll see are just questions. But I want to know, so you came here today, what do you want to get out of today? If I could just hear what some of you came here for. Christine?
To get people, to engage people in the videos that you shoot.
And I understand.
Because like you said, sometimes you get 4 clicks and that's it. But my problem is, and I don't know if anybody else, is Facebook Live left my Facebook page. Mm-hmm. It totally just left.
Yep.
And I guess it's an issue. It's not I'm not the only person in the world that this is going on.
So that's a tech thing we can take a look at afterwards,
yeah,
but I'll definitely help you with that.
It didn't work either. But so a call to action and to personally connect and make people aware that this is something that they need to do.
Yes, and I signed up for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it was
my
easy.
wife did too. Yes, it was very easy. It took like 30 seconds.
Who
else? Who else came here to what did you want to learn today? Same kind of thing.
There's, we know how important it is. It's just getting into the routine of doing it on a regular basis, and hopefully we'll find something that is that little nugget that makes you want to do it more.
Yeah.
So, learn more about it. So.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything different?
Well, I think it can be intimidating to shoot a video, especially turning around on, you know, you in it. So any tips on, you know, how to take that fear away, that, you know, it's okay to do?
Definitely. Thank you. I'll make sure I refer to that before we're done today. Any other things?
I think just relevant content, because sometimes you get in the mode of videoing the same thing every day. So how do you shake it up to engage people? How do you keep it relevant? And obviously we're in a generation where people like to be excited every moment of their lives. So how do you get the right content so people are going to engage and it's not just the same old thing for them?
Yeah. When I started in video back in 1992, it was very different than it is today. And it used to be, oh wow, you made a video, I'm going to watch it because it's a video. But now everybody sees video. And you have to understand, not only you, the expert, and have to connect with people where they're at and help them understand and trust you with what you do, you also have to be an entertainer. We're all kind of in the entertainment business now, fortunately or unfortunately. And so, yes, when you get in front of the camera, it is awkward, and the first 5 times, 10 times or so, and then it's going to start to become more natural. But seeing ourselves on camera can be a little scary at first, but just so you know, the cool thing is anything you shoot, you have 100% editorial control. No one has to see anything that you don't want to put out there. So if you shoot 10 videos and you never publish any of them, that's fine. And if you want to shoot some videos and then bring them in here and I can give you some feedback, I'm happy to do that. I want to make sure this is something that's usable for you, because they're saying right now that 50% of the content that is downloaded or digested on the internet right now is video based. And you have to understand it's also bits of information. That's why it's 50%. And they're saying it's going to go up to like 70%. And they're saying that the best way for a business to market now is about 50% video and then 50% other content for your marketing. So what's one of the great things about seeing a video? Like, we have podcasters. I'm a podcaster as well as Nick. Anybody else podcasting here? So we have voice, really get to hear people's voice, kind of get to know them and how they pace and the dynamics of their voice. You can tell a lot about a person. Bloggers, any bloggers here write a blog for, what do you write for?
I have a boat and I'm blogging every project, so when I go to sell it, it'll be a full-on.
Awesome. You can have a story about the boat.
Absolutely.
Right? That's very cool. So people get to hear your voice or read your voice. They get to know you a little bit that way. But with video, you could turn on a video, you feel like you know the person. Matter of fact, when I started shooting videos, I'd have people come up to me that I didn't know and said, hey, I know you from that. Someone shared your video, or I was on a plane and someone said, hey, I know you when you told that story. It's a little creepy at first, but then after a while you realize that people don't see you any differently than people that would be on TV. So you become like this TV personality. And the more value you give out into the marketplace, the more people trust you and follow you. And when they feel that they are going to be spreading value or entertainment or something that you do, they'll share it. And they're putting their stamp of approval on your content. So what we want to do is create content that's so valuable that people want to share it. That's when it goes beyond us. So let's talk about why we're doing a video. We want to always, anytime we're going to create content, we want to begin with the end in mind. So what are some of the actions you would want someone to take? They're watching your video. What would you want them to do? What are some of the actions you want them to
Well,
take?
yeah, I'm trying to raise awareness is my main objective, and to register is the main goal.
Okay, so you have awareness, and then the next step after that is for you
engage
to...
and register.
They're saying, this is great, I want to be a part of this, and then they register, which takes
And
30
be part
seconds.
of, yeah.
We have a software out for DJs and bars, and we want to do more training videos so they don't have to call us and have them walk through the training when it's right there live and we're on a video.
So demoing software, saving time of your saving your human resources for other things instead of doing the live demos. Great. Anything else you want people to do watching your videos?
Come out and see us.
Come out and see us. And what is that?
Bold Life. Come have an acai bowl.
Awesome. Okay.
So then we want them to follow us to see where we're going to be next.
Okay, so you're doing pop-ups or what?
It's food
Food
truck.
truck.
Food truck, okay.
Where you're gonna be is gonna be critical, so you want people to be following you so they know.
Yeah,
So really to create a bigger following is the goal.
okay. Thank you. We can get into that one as well.
Just started to figure out how we want to use videos in our business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we're an adventure business, so video speaks volume.
Yes.
But I'm not thinking about me on talking about it. It's like, to me, it's like, hey, look, these people treat content.
Mhm.
That should be enough. You know, so I'm just finally decided to start doing Instagram and stuff like that. So, start.
Great, great. Anyone else, anything different? Booking a call, calling you, entering an email address, giving them some kind of free report or video series or record a webinar or things like that. Those are all tools, and so what we want to know is, from our ideal clients, what is it they want next? And we're going to go into that right now. So for part one, how do we connect with our ideal clients? I want to know, who are we talking to? And when we're talking about our ideal clients, it's not everybody we've ever served in the past. There's people you have in mind. Like if you think of one of your ideal clients was a pleasure to serve, that if you were in like coaching or an ongoing service and not a transactional service, it was a pleasure to keep on serving them. They paid on time and they followed through. They showed up at appointments. Do you have that kind of person in mind? Yes?
Yeah.
So that's who you're talking to. Because as much as we want to attract everyone, we're going to attract who we are. And from who we are, that's what we're going to get back. So if you keep on getting people that are looking for things for free from you, or they can't pay, or they have a lot of drama, and they want specials and everything like that, you have to look at, how am I putting that out there right now to attract that back? And it's because it's your communication style, it's your message, the words you're using that is resonating with those people. So one of the things I love to help people with is find out who is the top 10% of all the customers you've worked with in the past that have hired you or purchased from you. So if you're always making those videos for the top 10%, the top 50% will aspire to work with you, or they'll book the call or what have you. And the bottom 50%, you're not going to resonate with them anymore. So you're always going to be talking to those people. Now, how about yourself? What is it that you do?
I run a live music entertainment company, book shows and promote
Awesome.
events in the area.
And so do you work with different venues?
Correct.
Okay. So there's probably some venues that you worked with that you probably wouldn't necessarily want to work with again, and others it is just a joy to work with?
Correct.
Okay. So whenever we're creating our media, we want to make sure that we're thinking of those people that we enjoyed working with and we speak their language. So the interaction here is, what situation are they in? It's great to know the demographics, the gender, the age, and all those things, but really we're talking to situations. What are some of the situations that you see people that you're serving that you can help? So Nick, what is the situation that when you're helping people, where are they stuck, or what is their challenge?
You know, typically it's a small business owner of some form that has a local presence that really can't, go forward with their digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't make that next step into it.
Okay.
So that's the friction point at least.
Okay. And then when they can't move forward in the digital marketing, what happens to them?
They usually just give up.
Uh-huh.
Frustrated, things of that nature.
And what happens to their business?
Over time, it's going to stagnate, decline.
Yeah. And then what happens?
Eventually, they either go out of business or they sell the business and move on.
And how does that affect all the people they've been serving, their family, all those things?
Yeah, the employees. Yes.
So we can talk about several of these, but if you think about it, you're having a very clear message and speaking to those things that are the pain points in them. You're doing them a favor and you're doing them a service. If we don't get this clear, we're doing people we can serve a disservice. They don't resonate with us. They don't understand that we know what they're talking about. As a matter of fact, if we can describe the situation they're in better than they can, they'll look to us as the people that can solve that problem or help them solve that problem over everybody else. Because so few people are taking the time to do that. Who else? Who do you serve? Now, Christine, who are you serving here?
I'm a little bit different because I'm a nonprofit, and my nonprofit called TIF's Initiative to Inform Families First actually will benefit every single person in this room. And what you're doing is registering your emergency contact information online with Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicles. And when you register, it goes into the magnetic strip on the license and gets stored to be used in an emergency. So my nonprofit stemmed from a tragedy of my daughter, but creating that people, you know, I meet so many people and they say, oh yeah, I got your flyer and that, and I said, well, where is it? And they said, it's by my computer, and it's been sitting there for 3 to 6 months. There was not a connection between me and that person that says this applies to you, because if you don't register, you can't be reached.
When you explained it to me the first time a few weeks ago, I got it immediately. I did not know that the police didn't know how to
You might have
contact.
just had, you know, but there's other people, and I think their brains are busy, or people think, oh, it's a great idea, but, you know, I mean, I don't know, I don't really need it. And John Stewart, which is our mentor, he had a great quote that I gave to the state of Florida actually to use, and he says, you'll never know how much you need it until you need it.
Absolutely.
And that I thought would hit it right on the nail.
So one of the things I think is really cool about your website is you lead with your story. You have a video of your story right on the homepage, and I think that's great. I think each one of us can somehow tell our story, because a lot of times the business we create is because that was our issue at one time. We're 3 or 5 or 10 years past people who are helping now. And so what was once our pain, now we've figured out some of it, and we're helping other people with. Or it's a passion of yours, ever since childhood. Were you a musician, or are you a musician?
That would be a stretch to say.
But you like the entertainment business?
Correct.
How long have you liked it?
How long have I liked
Yeah.
it? 25 years.
See, there's a story there. What was it, a concert? Was it some kind of experience? It's like, wow, I want to do this. This is incredible.
It was associated with older sisters and the shows that they went to when I was too young to go to.
Okay. So that's a story right there. Get people into your life. And I think sometimes we feel like, well, mine's business to business. It's not going to work for me. It's like, no, it's person to person. There's someone who's going to be watching that. It doesn't matter if it's a C-level executive. They are a person, and they can relate to another person. So let's move on to the next part. Before we get to how to clarify your offer, we have to understand that our video is a bridge. So they're in their situation, they're in their pain, their struggle, their challenge that they're in. Could be their health, financial, what else? Relationships, anything we're helping people with. That is where we're starting. And where we're at is what we offer. And now we need to bridge that from where they are to where we are. We always start with being congruent with where they're at. Does that make sense? Because when we start with where we're at, that's like a commercial. We're just like, boom, here's me. And that's not connecting with them where they're at. So how to clarify your offer. Let's go around, and anybody who hasn't talked yet, I want to know what your business is. So we have acai, what is that? Acai bowls, okay. And then Jeff, or Tony, I'm sorry.
Yeah, displays for trade shows, events, park interiors, and museum build-outs.
Okay. Anyone? April.
Holistic physical therapy and sports medicine.
Okay. So these are our businesses, and I believe everybody got to share here. Is that right? And you're in the adventure business.
Yeah, we're all over the place. Yeah,
Okay.
That's so hard. I mean, because we're a team building company, but we also build the stuff, ruts, courses,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
hours, and then we also do recreational tree bonding, which is more adventure-based.
Very cool.
So I'm always, it's always a struggle. You talk about the ideal client. We have different ideal clients.
Yeah.
As soon as you said ideal client, I didn't want an ideal client for team building.
So you may have like a corporate, you may have individual families and so forth. And
It's like schools
Mhm.
go, they come out, we don't need to go there, but like,
Yeah.
you know that ideal client. They show up, they call you, then you say, hey, you want to book for next year? They're great, they
Mhm.
love you, and they could keep coming back. You know, so do you know what that ideal client looks
Yep.
It's
Okay.
different from different.
So I want to make sure, so we have our businesses. This is what we believe to the outside. This is what they're getting from us. But what is our business doing for people? And Karen, what is your business?
Well, I'm kind of here for a couple of different reasons. But I have a technology app that I'm working on that empowers women, and then I have a real estate business. And I'm also here to listen for my husband, who's a, let's just say, mental conditioning person. He's a public speaker.
Okay, cool. So which one would you like to focus on today?
I'm not sure. I'm just going to kind of...
Okay, that's good. So let's, April, let's work with you.
Okay.
So your business is what again?
I do holistic physical therapy and sports medicine.
Okay.
And I have a new component basically that all of this I'm adding into to educate people. It's an educational platform.
Okay. Now, when people come to you, what is the challenge that they have?
Mainly they're trying to avoid surgery and trying to stay off medication, or that's our goal.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time it's either an acute or chronic major injury.
Okay. And are these athletes?
Good majority.
Okay.
About 60%.
What happens?
70%.
Okay. What happens if people need to go to surgery instead of working with you?
What happens?
Yeah.
Then we prep them. We do pre and post therapy. So we're basically above and beyond atypical physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So we work through the entire body instead of just one area.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what is one of the results people would get from working with you?
They're usually 10 times better than they were even when they were healthy and in good standing.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And what does that do for are these active athletes or former athletes?
Both.
Okay. What does that do for their career if they're an active athlete?
We save a lot of careers, a lot of contracts. So,
Mm-hmm. You save contracts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they're able to perform.
Correct.
Okay.
About a quarter of the period of time that they recover in a quarter of the period of time if they typically would, either having surgery or going through a regular PT protocol.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, what are some of the other benefits from people working with you? If, let's say, they're a former athlete.
Former athlete is usually like a C-suite executive
Mm-hmm.
that I work with, and so they're running business
Yep.
usually, and they're high performance, right?
Okay.
So same kind of thing. They sleep better, they can perform better, their bottom line is all better. Anytime you have pain, you can't sleep if you're in recovery, those kind of things. If your body's not working, I would say your health is your most valuable commodity.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, nothing else in your life is going to. So it
Right.
just increases all of that between your life, your business, all of it.
So when you're creating videos, we'll just take you for an example. One of the things you may want to focus on is that story of actually, recording stories of people who have gone through your programs, getting testimonials, but testimony in a story form, as well as help people understand what's at stake. Because if I were to look at your website, I may just see the things that you do, but not the results in my life and what's at stake. So another one, let's say the acai bowl. Why would you start that?
As a healthy option
To what?
to a better life, to stay healthy, to eat cleaner, to not eat as much junk food.
What's wrong with going to McDonald's and having a Big Mac?
Ultimately, you're going to pay the price.
Okay.
Health issue.
So you're either building health or you're building illness, or something like that. It's when you're okay. So I think there's a story in there of you're not selling the bull necessarily. You're selling a healthy lifestyle, and I imagine there's several benefits that compliance-wise you could probably talk about. Not say that it cures anything, obviously, but there's got to be certain things that you can talk about. So I would love to hear what your story is and why you chose to do that. And then also, what are some of the reasons people would want to go with acai? What is it?
Good.
Okay, but that's the thing is that there's probably lots of health benefits. And if you can do some comparisons, people say, well, why would I pay $8 for an acai bowl? I don't know what it is, but versus a $3 Big Mac. You know, this one's cheaper. I can eat more of them. And so to help them understand, not necessarily that that's going to be your ideal client, but I think it's important for people to get the bigger picture of what we're putting in our body. Like April was saying, is you're either building health or you're building disease, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so,
Yes, no, keep going on that. So, like, first, I struggle with, like, how is watching, no offense, watching her talk about that
Mhm.
maybe better than just stating it on, you know, like that's what where's this video going? Is it David and just on screen talking about those things and basically telling you what they could read? Like, what
Yeah.
does the video stand out over the written word?
Yeah, thank you for asking a question. So the issue is, what I believe is we're selling person to person. And if you have an account like a business that has you come out and you have your truck out there, or you're dealing with the individual, they want to know who you are. Because I want to buy from people I like, know, and trust. If it's text, it's kind of cold. I don't know did they hire a copywriter to write that, or did they copy that off somebody else's website, or is this what they truly believe? And this is where their heart is at. They really want to help people succeed in their health. So let's take you for example. You have team building. All right. So are you building the structures?
We build them climbing towers, but we do a lot of team building programs.
Okay.
You know, so they're really not buying me; they're buying
Right.
all my facilitators, my staff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Do you do any videos right now?
No, I mean just some videos when we do a festival. Take people, you know, tree climbing and post
Yeah.
it on Instagram or Facebook.
For what you're doing is such physical. I think it'd be really cool to get a few guys with GoPros and get up way up high where you're going and show people that, you know, obviously have everybody sign releases, but show what it's like to go through those things.
Cool videos like that.
Okay, so you do shoot videos like that. So you're telling the story. What happens when people go through a team building exercise? What happens to their company or their organization?
Most of the time they're like, hey, you know, this is great. They enjoy it. It brought a benefit to them when they go back to the office.
So when they go back to the office, they have a common
They
challenge that they all face.
Yeah, they didn't change the world, but they're like, oh yeah, you know what, this is great. I get to know them a little bit better. And I'm gonna pass them in the hallway. We have something else to talk about. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I went to a local one 2 weeks ago with my son for his birthday, and it was really cool to be able to do something so physical with my son, going up in the tree line and everything. Yeah.
Cool.
But that was something he and I will never forget. And actually, that was the second time we went because we enjoyed it so much. So it was a bonding thing, and a video of a dad and his son, or a mom and her daughter, or something like that, and showing the story of that, because you're selling an experience of connection with your child or your family or what have you. You're not selling the timber, and sometimes we think that we're selling these structures. You're not selling the structure, you're selling what is that, the thing that's going to touch somebody. Like what are the lives like of those executives that have gone through your program now that, oh my gosh, I have all this energy again, and I don't have this pain that's keeping me from doing all I want to do in life that was before, the before and after. And just really helping people understand what is the story of what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. So the text, I don't feel, can do that as well. So let's move on to the final part here, is how to develop a compelling call to action that gets people to connect with you. You're asking for an exchange. The exchange is a small ask. Sometimes if you say, if you're a consultant, book a call with me and we'll talk more about the challenges in your business, that can be kind of confronting. Yes, they could probably get a good result by having that conversation with you, but what else can you do? One little thing. What are some of the things you've seen, like if I were to give you my address, my email address, what are some of the things you've seen in exchange for that? Scott, you've probably seen it all. What's something you've seen in exchange for an email address?
Oh, a free download, weekly update specials, 10% off,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Free webinar? Free book?
Free recipe,
Free recipes?
free workout video.
So that's one of my main questions, Matthew, is because we get so over inundated with information, and what makes you discern? You know, anymore, like, we're hit with so much and everybody has a story, and that's been kind of one of my things, like how, I know like with what I do, how important that is and getting that information out, and I have somebody who's really been pushing me to do that, and it's like, that's great, but, and I understand discernment to some degree, but you have billions of people on the planet doing the same thing. And to me, at this point, it's like, how effective is it really? Because there's a cost bottom line to investing in both time and money of setting up those platforms and going through this whole process. So does it really pay off, I guess, is really, you know, is there really a return on that investment? That's
Sure.
been my biggest question.
And we had a discussion about that before.
Before I got here?
Scott,
Sorry.
yeah, Scott, no, you and I did a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Scott.
Yeah, so the beauty of Google is when you're searching for something, they give it to you right close to you. So when somebody in the Bradenton area is looking for something related to what they're looking for, and you have a video that's there for that answer, you will show up. So you're not competing with the billions of people because they're looking for someone local. So by having that, you've got your information that they can meet locally and learn about you. And people that are looking for specific things, like you're not like a plumber where you know, like your faucet changed. You're a very specific niche industry. They're looking for research. And when you show up on Google with your website or YouTube with your video, and they could actually meet you and look at you and talk to you kind of through the computer and listen to what you have to say, you're selling them. It's like going to a networking group, but it's for that specific person looking for that specific information.
Even if you're beyond just being local?
Yes.
Okay.
You're not just local.
Right. That's kind of part of my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that quickly too. David, yes?
Well, just kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, I understand what Scott's saying there, but maybe for those people that don't know they need you, how do you reach, if somebody's searching for you, I understand what you're saying, but what
Right.
about that group of people who maybe don't know they need her services? They do, but they don't know they need it.
Right.
How does what she does get to those people, I guess is my point.
Well, one of the things, I mean, Scott is an SEO expert, so he gets into where people are searching already, and that's where you develop content around it. So, for instance, there's a chiropractor that I was following for years. He's up in northern Wisconsin, and one of the things he does is he does these testings to make sure that they're not guessing at how to treat you. And they have on their website, here are the local airports, here are the local hotels and so forth. He's regional or local, but he's created so much content out there through videos and blogging and being a guest on podcasts and for over the years that people may have the solution right down the street from them, but they trust the guy that's halfway across the country or the woman that's halfway across the country because they've watched them over the years be consistent and congruent and grow in how they serve and develop their mastery. Does that make sense? So you are a master at what you do. And people just need to know that. The reason that more people don't work with you is because they just don't know that you exist. So one thing I'd encourage you to do, and things will help people that are members here at Connect, is help you develop your content out so people can find you. And once they find you, they can follow you over time.
Well, that's, so back to the original focus of this going to be SEO and marketing and finding an audience. That's, that's a completely, large discussion with many factors. But specifically what this talk, what I thought was supposed to be about was the actual smartphone video and how to develop that, something that, I understand what you're saying, the time and money invested to do certain marketing things you need to make sure you're getting return on your investment. So my understanding from what the title of this talk was about was, we can have a discussion about complete marketing, but how does the quick to action smartphone video, how does that fit into your overall marketing plan? And what I was looking for is how do we go about creating that tips to create that content and share it, like you and I were talking about earlier. I think maybe some of this discussion is getting off into other marketing areas that aren't really what the focus I thought was, which was the smartphone video.
So one of the things I would say is we all have the smartphone in our pocket, or we have our tablet with us. It costs nothing to use. If you know how to turn on the camera and point it at yourself for what's going on, people are less concerned right now with professional quality video. They need to be able to hear you loud and clear. And if you have lighting where they can see you, right now, that's okay. So it used to be, and I've been in professional video production, people pay $25,000 or more just for me to create some videos for them. But really, I'm saying it's the connection with the individual. And the people who I helped the most that succeeded they had conviction for what they did. They knew their story, they believed in their product, and they knew that if people didn't work with them, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to stay in that challenge. And so I'm happy to help you with the technical stuff with the iPhone, but what I want the thrust of this is to use it more and for people to hear about you. Because the more of you that's out there, you're building a history. And so we talked about a specific thing to connect directly with some of the clients that in the past. And I started in 2010 shooting videos and teaching people how to use their iPhone. And what I found is out of the hundreds of people that bought my program, about 2% of them actually went through it. And it was because it was all the technical stuff. And they figured, well, I've got this, I can check it later. What I want you to do is turn on the camera and start shooting something, and you're going to get better and better and better, and you're going to connect even more with people. And as you develop your content, you're going to become more powerful, more known. People are going to ask you to be on their podcasts and their live streams and so forth. But right now, it's just we need to get more of you out there.
I think the trepidation is, we get that, we understand that, but make us feel more comfortable. How do we get started doing that? What are some of the tricks and tips that you would suggest that we do actually use a smartphone for those type of videos? I'm not sure. I mean, that's
I appreciate you.
That's what I was wanting to learn.
Okay, I appreciate
unless I got the content wrong.
So it's something that you're saying, like a lot of quantity, and you're going to kind of learn that process along the way. There's nothing wrong with having lower quality until you find your voice, you find that video that you really want to target and push. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
As opposed to really focusing on one good video that says everything you want to say to a specific. I
think what happens is we wait too long to do that. I'm a perfectionist, and I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I found that the people who have surpassed me over the years just went out and did more and more and more videos. They have like hundreds and over 1,000 videos that are out there. And I did all kinds of training videos. I have over 500 videos out on YouTube and Facebook. And it's the people who just went and did it. And so what I would say to you is people are going to get your personality. If with this information here, you know the challenge that your client is in, your ideal clients, if you know your product and what you're actually selling is the result, not that thing that you do, and you have some next steps for them to take, just start shooting that. And so if you've seen the video that I shot in the back hallway there on the landing page, I took 15 minutes to make that landing page. I knew what I was going to say, and then I shot the video. It was one take. I just trimmed the ends, and I shared it from my iPhone to my Mac, and then uploaded it to Vimeo, and then put the code on that page. So we were talking about, well, it's an expense. I have a software where I create a landing page. I know the content is. I know how I'm going to format it, and I put the video up there, and people show up. People resonate enough. I could have put music to it. I could have worn a microphone. I could have had the lighting perfect. But I was moving, and I wanted to engage with each one of you, and it was off the top of my mind. And if we can do more of those things, and we know this stuff right here, we're going to connect with more people. And if you do 10 in the next, or let's say you do 4 a month, 1 a week, you're going to have consistent content out there. You're going to get better, feel more comfortable, and people are going to know what your message is over time. Scott.
Over the years, the video has become to be more reality. We're a reality society, right? So, and when you see it in its reality, it's kind of gritty, it's not real perfect, and people respect that versus the camera shot where they turn to look over here and whatnot. So, and as far as one big one versus small ones, the more small ones you have, the more searchable you are, the more landing pages you're going to get out of that. So you can break it up, and our time on how much time we actually look at videos is very small. So we've become a 140 character society. We want something quick and efficient. 30 seconds. What?
It's 280 now.
Oh, it's 280 now. Yeah. We'll see how that works. But yeah, so we're a quick society, right? We have a very short attention span. 30-second video, minute video. You're getting out some information. They're seeing who you are, and they're feeling comfortable with you. And the best way to start is pick up your phone and hit the start button.
Yeah.
So would you say there is a difference in terms of strategy of this SEO and like the YouTube and these individual sites versus like an actual social media push? Because I think mostly in terms of social media, where you will get pushed down on Facebook if you're posting an outside link. Like if I'm posting my website
Right.
or YouTube or Vimeo is even worse. Well, like when I think of like what they do and what I do is very similar, where it's all about follow me on these and I'll tell you where I'll be or where
Yeah.
this show is.
Mhm.
So SEO is a completely different thing for like a business that has a landing page. I love the idea of quantity, quality within that.
Yeah.
But,
So you see some of the videos that, yes, you see some of the videos that are on Vimeo. They're beautiful and they've crafted them. They had a crew and everything. But the thing is, if you wait to do that first, you haven't tested anything. And so what you're doing now is you're testing. And if you see you have 10 likes off of one and you have 10 shares and 50 likes on another one, and you have all these comments, you see I've resonated with that. I'm going to do another one like that, but go into more depth. And you're testing and people are getting to know you. Tony, one of the things here, and I want to just end here quickly, but I have this thing, the Ultimate Clarity template, and it is, if people are looking for a formula of like, what do I have in my videos, this is something that members are going to get, but it says it allows you to create batches of marketing videos, and that's really what I'm known for, is we shoot 50 to 70 videos in a day, and we have to know with detail what we're going to be shooting. Blog posts, podcasts, seminar talks, and products that are 100% in alignment with your life's work or what it is you want to do. And so this is actually, it's a template which is really cool so you know who you are, what you're actually selling, what your best compelling call to action is, knowing what it is that people want to digest. So if I were to say a white paper on how to make videos, why don't you just do a video? Because this is about videos. Right? So it has to resonate with people. What do they actually want from you? So I want to end with this here. There's some tips here. If you just follow the tips, you're going to be much better off. Shoot more, you're going to get better. Use your intuition. How would you like to be talked to? You don't want to be talked at. You want to be talked with. You want to be talked to. If you wouldn't find it interesting, no one else is going to find it interesting. Those who bring the most value to their market are going to win over time. So this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And as you're building content, it's kind of a sprint on Facebook because you'll be up right away and then it's going to tail off over time. YouTube is the opposite. Be yourself, be the person you want to attract. So if you're genuine, if you're authentic, and you're off the cuff, but you're your best self in the moment, just do that. Be original, show your character, and be authentic, like I said. Don't wander, use bullet points. How long should it be? So the stats say that 90 seconds is the perfect length, but I'll tell you to make it as short as possible, but as long as necessary. You don't want to cut off so they feel like that was a fluff video. I'm not going to watch another one of those. If they feel like they got value from it and it's 2 minutes, great. If you're doing a training or they pay for it, or if you're doing like a webinar, you're not going to do a 2-minute webinar. You're going to do like a 60-minute or something where they feel like they went through and they learned a process and now they can take that and do something more with it. If you can move the camera, people love it when they're like, where are they going? I was walking around with that little $10 selfie stick you can get at Michael's. It adds dynamic nature to it. Because if you're just a talking head, it's not quite as interesting. Be open to feedback. One of the things I had said earlier is if you're a member here, and we have the member special, but if you're a member here, next Tuesday, anything you shoot between now and then or stuff you shot in the past you want me to review, we'll go through. We can talk more about your messaging and so forth. We're just going to have like a round table and go over some of those things. And then if you're getting comments, engage with them. If people leave a comment, Go back and forth. You know, follow them back, especially on Facebook. It's so easy to know who that is. So I have time for questions here, and then can I get one of those Connect pages? Oh, thank you. So we're running a special right now for a month here. You have unlimited access 8:30 to 5 o'clock weekdays. And if you look at this, we're going to have more of these kind of introductory talks. We're going to have it every week, except for during the holidays here. But if you're a member, you get access to some of the more in-depth training where we're going to go into specifics. Is there anything, so you see it starts with podcasting. What is most interesting to you on this list? What do you find most interesting? So podcasting, we're opening up a podcasting booth over here in the corner. I'm going to teach people how to do that. I have a daily podcast, so that means I do 7 podcasts a week. You get to learn that really fast. Yes?
Effective communication.
Effective communication. How many here are interested in the technical stuff? Like, how do I use my phone? Okay. Mm-hmm. You got that? What kind of technical stuff are you interested in?
I was assuming you were talking about like the live streaming or the
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Okay. April, did...
Optimizing the Facebook stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would be creating online courses.
Online courses, okay. I've worked with several platforms and put a lot of courses together for myself and other people, so I can help you with that for sure. Anything else? Because I can arrange the order of these still.
Testimonials is great.
Testimonials, get the testimonials to do the selling for you. There's a format that I use where I have them just go through and answer 6 questions. And when you put that out there, it's, you know, they do the selling for you. And it's very natural.
And you edit from there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So the grand opening discount is 20% off. It's $39 today. The classes, you have access to the member level classes, which you see above there. The recordings. So I'm recording this right now. As we do this later, we're going to have a group on Facebook. So if you can't make it, it's going to be live streamed to the group if you're a member here. And you'll have access to the recordings as well as the live stream. And then the feedback group is going to be on Wednesdays, but since it's going to be Thanksgiving on Thursday, we're going to do it on Tuesday of next week. And then the Ultimate Clarity template is this thing here that I have done over 100 webinars. This was my most popular webinar where I actually went through, and the people that were on the webinar, we just worked through it. All different kinds of businesses and so forth. And it really helps you clarify your value in the marketplace, who you're talking to and everything. And once you have this done, you can do all your live streams, your podcasts, you're going to do talks at doing seminars and stuff. You know what your platform is. You've defined your platform. So that's a part of it. Actually, I'm giving that to people who sign up today. I sell it on my website for $297. Because of the partnership I have with Connect and the awesome things that we're doing here, I'm offering that today. So what questions do you have that we didn't cover? Yes?
Jump right over something like that. Very interesting. You're talking about demographics versus situations, when you kind of moving on from that. Are you referring to like targeting, or are you referring to just, I guess you kind of talked about later, just being in a situation and filming that as opposed to designing one and going for that?
Yeah. So your content, you want to speak to the person's situation, because we may think we know the client, but we can speak to a situation. But we may, if you're talking about targeting on Facebook ads and stuff, yeah, you can do that. So use the demographics for that. But what you're saying is you need to connect with their situation. What pain are they in? And so what is one of the situations you feel that people are in right now with your service?
I would say the number one situation we have is people are looking for shows to go to, but most of what I get in around my shows and others is they find out the day after.
Oh, no.
When all their friends are posting pictures or videos of the show, and say, why didn't I know about this? And I feel like I have targeted them in terms of Facebook ads or posts leading up to sometimes 4 to 6 weeks of really.
So you're hammering it with the Facebook ads and stuff. Do people have access to your schedule? Like, as far as like, do you have an email list that you're building?
I'll give you the perfect example of it is I also do booking at Darwin Brewing, and we've gone through where we're doing monthly, weekly,
Cool.
up this week,
Yeah.
and this music this month, and I still get people that are like, oh, that was last night.
Yeah. Well, I understand that because there's artists that go through town. I'm like, how did I not know about this? And I missed them.
People that I specifically follow.
Yes, yes.
That somehow
It's
are
weird.
not in the algorithm for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
So if you collect their email addresses, you don't have to do a full-out newsletter, but if you are you familiar with ClickFunnels? So you can collect their phone number and send them a text of 2 days before, 3 days before, a week before, whatever, and remind them that it's coming. That's a great way because then you just give them reminders text because then they know it's the band or the whatever the show is that they want to see, and you're going to notify them. So you could break it out and segment those lists by artists or by venue. That might be something because people may be more interested in getting a text than an email. It might get lost.
Is that just a Facebook thing? Is that why that's happening? And do anybody, any ideas on that? Is that just a, because I've noticed the same
But
thing.
you're paying for it.
Yeah, even an email. Like another group that I work with, Aces, they do a monthly and they do like a week of upcoming shows. And I get the emails and it's my job and I still don't always click on it. I don't always open it. And sometimes you scroll right past what you're looking for.
Yes.
Well, if you have a reoccurring band or show, you may have video from the last time they did it.
Yes.
And you're putting that up at all or no?
Yes, and I do on like my personal business page, but I also look for other venues and getting stuff in their noise.
Yeah.
Stuff, especially a place that's like dark, like it's all about their beer, but
Yeah.
and then the tap room is a secondary piece of it, and then the entertainment within the tap room, it's kind of levels
Okay.
of what they're willing to push.
Yeah. So I think yours is more of like, I'd have to take a look to see what's actually going on, but are you sure that your ideal demographic is on Facebook, they're not on Snapchat or Instagram?
Well, for the younger shows that I do, Instagram is absolutely
Yeah.
where I go. My demo is 15 years younger on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
If not more. But Facebook is, like I know them from the individual clients. Aces is completely different because we do like their email list and their group. They're generally like a blues club that goes
Yeah.
for like the 45 to 65, and then I throw on a punk show this Wednesday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, plug it.
It's completely different music, and it's 3 local bands that are playing like party rock and punk rock. And if I were to send an email blast out to the Aces group,
Yeah.
they would say, "You got to be kidding me."
Or they get off the list. So you got to protect that list. If as soon as you give them something that they don't find value, you get enough emails right now. I'm out. You know.
Yeah, unsubscribes are my biggest fear.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk with you further about that afterwards. Anybody else have any last questions? Otherwise, you can ask me afterwards, and we can go from there. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. I appreciate it.
I see some new faces in here, and that's really exciting. And so, one of the things that we have for you today is a free car wash if you
Yeah.
take a tour. So I'll meet with you guys and see if that's of interest to you. Bo is one of our
right out there.
members. He's right outside, and it's actually a steam one. And Christine just had her car done. So
And it needed it.
great.
Keep going.
Hey.